Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the Brooklyn Tea Party meeting for our July meeting. I just want to thank everyone for attending today, and we are going to start the meeting off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
Can we sit?
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. We are in a wonderful, crazy time, as we all know, by looking at the media and the news and fake news and what have you. It seems like the communists and the psychopaths are at full force going after our President Trump. Now, I know a lot of people, it's primary season, people have whoever they want to choose in the election, that's fine. Because we have that right to make that personal choice when it comes to primary time. But when it comes to once that primary is settled, we need to stand together and fight these psychopaths at any cost, you know, because what they're trying to do is destroy us. And they will stop at nothing to make sure that our country is no longer a country. They have wide open borders. Come on down like it's the Price is Right. You're the next contestant to get a freebie. Hey, you need a hotel room? Why not? The Motel 6 will leave the light on for you.
But nothing for the homeless.
No, not for the veterans, not for the veterans, not for the homeless that have been on our streets, that need care, our citizens that need care. No, you take a step right back. Okay, stay on that subway. Make sure you pay your fare. Okay, because it's absolutely disgusting what is going on here. But
no one pays the fare anymore. What are you talking
no, that's true. But what they need to do is, people are saying, you know, it doesn't matter. Both parties are the same. I just stay home. I don't vote. What's the difference? Well, there is a difference. You cannot stay home. You cannot not vote. You got to go out and vote. It's very important. You got to go out to vote. You cannot say they're all the same. It doesn't matter. Really? What party is for Drag Queen Story Hour? Democrat Party or Republican Party? Republican Party, right? Difference, right? Hey, you would like to go to the bathroom? Okay. A female bathroom? Why not have a male in there? Which party's for that? Republican Party, right? They're the same? They're not the same. Wrong. Democrat Party. And any other insane type of thing you could think of. I don't know. No bail for criminals? Come on out. Kill again. Stab again. The Republican Party is for that, right? Wrong. Democrat Party. So there's a clear difference when it comes to these things. The meat and potatoes issues. Gas cars, I'd like to have a gas car in 2035 in New York State, but they say I must have an electric vehicle. I cannot buy a brand new car in New York State by 2035. It must be electric. Really? Where am I plugging this thing in? My ass? Seriously. We don't have the infrastructure for this. Where the hell do they think all this on-the-grid electric stuff is going to come from? The sky? Oh yeah, solar panel. Really? That's what, less than 5% of our total output? People got to wake up. Stop staying home. Stop saying they're the same. They are clearly not the same. The other party is insane, okay? So we need to make sure we get our troops out there. Early voting, use it, do it, get out. You need to early vote when it comes time to vote. Don't say, well, the day of. Really, the day of? The day of is when machines decide to break down. The day of is, oh, it's Republican district area or whatever, let's make sure that this machine goes bye-bye now. No, get out and vote. You have a whole month. No excuse. And the day of, you have elected. New York, 6 in the morning till 9 at night. Get out there, vote, drive someone to the polls, drive a neighbor. If you know you have an elderly neighbor that can't get out, get them an absentee ballot. Okay, if they could absentee or get a thing because they're sick, whatever, give them a form, show them how to do it, get that vote. You know they're going to vote the way you want to vote, of course. Now, if they're going to vote for the other side, tell them the election's the day after. But, you know, look, at the end of the day, we need to fight for this country because this country is basically gone right now. We have an insane individual as president. He don't even know how to get off stage. Where am I going? Where am I? Oh, here I am again.
Oh, my brother.
Hey, look. Nice hair. Let me smell it. What the hell is that? The guy's a psychopath. But it's okay. The media won't say a word about it. They just brush it off like it's nothing. But at least we have a person second in charge that if anything happens to our president, we could be confident that our country will be run sanely and sound. I thought I would say a joke. She likes to cackle and laugh at the most inappropriate times. Funerals, weddings, bar mitzvahs, I don't know. She'll do it all. She's definitely available on weekends. Look, it's a hard, what is this? I feel like we're in the Matrix, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like we are in some sort of bizarre, psychotic Twilight Zone episode. We need to wake up. We need to make sure reality is shown to our neighbors, our friends. Talk about these issues. Don't be shy. The other side gets to dominate everything. The other side gets to be your judges. The other side gets to be your teachers. The other side gets to be everything and everything. They're everywhere, okay? So since they're everywhere, we gotta make sure we have a little say in this battle, okay? We cannot allow people to dictate and take away our freedoms from us. We need to do this. We need to fight. We need to make sure we have our voices heard. So, with that being said, we have a candidate here, our guest speaker, Marilyn Miller, who is running for the 27th City Council District in Queens on the Republican and the Medical Freedom Party, okay, which is very important, the Medical Freedom Party. We got to make sure that this psychotic thing that they try to do to us, okay, and some of us holdouts somehow survived, but some had to do it. Some was under the advice of their doctor, and when my doctor kept on telling me to do it, I said, hell no. But my doctor's, I said, give me an exemption notice. I can't. I'm afraid of what the AMA is going to do, revoke my license. This is communism. This is not a free country. This is not a free country anymore, okay? Wake up, people. Wake up. This is not a free country right now. We are in peril. We gotta make sure whoever the nominee is, me, my choice is no way. Donald Trump is my choice. But of course, everyone can choose whoever they want. That's what primaries are for, like I said. But once that's decided, and Trump is in jail, I'm not going to vote for him because you vote for him. You're damn right you vote for him. You make sure everyone goes to vote for him. He's in jail. Really? Is Biden in jail? What does that mean, he's in jail? We know what this is all about. We know this is a trumped-up charges, okay? This is disgusting. So we need to wake up and go, oh, my stars, he's in prison. Oh, give me a break, you Victorians. Wake up. Know what's really going on out here. This is a country that is like a Bolshevik revolution. Okay? They're doing it right in front of our eyes under the Green New Deal. Green New Deal. Plug it in, plug it out. You know, in New York State, 138 fires last year due to the electric bikes 13 deaths. 13 people died for this environmental psychoticness. I own a home here, and I'm making sure when the leases are up, it's stated in the lease, no electric bikes in my house, because that damn thing could go up in flames and burn my house down due to environmentalism. Please, wake up. Know what it really is about, communism. That's what it's about, to just transform our country into communism. Questions will be asked in a minute. Okay, so with that being said, sorry to get off on a little tangent again, but I'm angry, not yet. I'm angry, but we all should be angry, and I think we all are. And it's about time we have our voices heard, and that is why we are going to introduce our candidate here, Marilyn Miller. Ladies and gentlemen, give her a big. That's good. There you go. Take your time.
First of all, good afternoon, everyone. And I'd like to thank Glenn and Sarah for about years. He has been an inspiration to the Republican Party and to the Brooklyn Tea Party. And I want to thank him for all the things that he's done for the Brooklyn Tea Party and the Republican Party. I would like to give a brief history of the Tea Party movement. Okay, it began in 2009, an American conservative movement within the Republican Party. Members of the movement called for lower taxes, debt reductions, and less government spending. Unfortunately, the Republican Party hijacked that movement. I would like to see the Brooklyn Tea Party revitalized and be more engaged within the political process moving forward. Now, a little bit about myself, people that don't know me. I'm a retired police officer and 9/11 first responder survivor. I'm running on the Republican and Medical Freedom Line, 27th City Council District. Thank you so much. I'm running for freedom and justice. As a young 23-year-old officer in the 80s, I was assigned to Queens Narcotic South as an undercover police officer to clean up South Jamaica of its drug infestation, which led to violent crime, low quality of life, and home value depreciation. It's time to put the corrupt syndicate politicians on notice.
Lock them up.
On notice.
Lock them up.
Oh, lock them up, definitely. That we, the people, are fed up with high crime, homelessness, dirty streets, high taxes, inflation, attacks on small businesses, and the infringement on our constitutional rights. I'm running to restore law and order. No catch, no bail, release must be repealed. We cannot have a revolving door which allows repeat violent offenders back into our communities to terrorize and jeopardize our safety. As your leader, I will fight to bring an end to this socialist, globalist agenda that does not serve the needs of our community. I'm asking you, your family, and your friends to join this journey to freedom and prosperity. And vote Marilyn Miller for City Council. You can go to Maryland for City Council or candidate vote New York City to donate. Please join a City Council race and help us. We need your help. For candidates, especially for candidates that stand up for the Constitution, this coming November 7th. It's Miller time.
All right.
Time for change. And the last but not least, I'd like to introduce you to a warrior and fellow patriot, a true fighter for freedom and justice. Josephine, a little bit about her. Josephine, a God-fearing warrior for freedom and justice, is a first generation in the U.S. from Cuba. Her Cuban parents, she was born and raised in Spanish Harlem. She retired from the radiology field after 32 years of service. She's been an advocate against child exploitation and trafficking. She is also doing fantastic work in the New York Citizens Audit to expose corruption and fraud in our elections. Without further ado, I present you Josephine Aronson.
Thank you. Thank you, Marilyn. Oh my God. I need a new name. Take it.
Exactly.
Guys, thank you so much, Glenn. Thank you for inviting
No
me to your
problem.
home.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. This is such an important topic. If in 2009, if the nation would have listened to the Tea Party, I think I would have been invited to celebrate all our victories in the U.S. But unfortunately, this is the darkest time in U.S. history. I have to tell you to put your seatbelt on. It's kind of rough what I'm about to tell you, but I'm going to give you the good news of what the citizens and not the politicians have uncovered, and also are finding solutions to this huge, massive problem, which is your voter integrity, which I don't even like calling it that, because the people are the ones that need to have integrity. So I'm going to talk about voter fraud, the accuracies or the inaccuracies. First, I want to thank the Tea Party. Honestly, I didn't even know that you guys were still around. I was so excited when Marilyn suggested for me to talk to you guys. It's an amazing group. Got a lot of ridicule. I mean, when you're doing something right, you know, and you're telling the truth, you're the enemy. So I remember that time. I didn't join it, but I did keep track of what their beliefs are. And I just want to share a little bit about my background. Actually, let me take this off. In the early 50s, well, probably like in 49, 50, my aunt married a Korean vet. And they came to the United States, and it's funny, like how in the 50s, the vetting system for illegals were like more accurate and swifter, and you know, and now we're in 2023 and it's a disaster, but it's a free fall. But she came, and then my mother in 51 came because she started smelling the communism. There were the guerrillas planning up in the mountains. There were a lot of chit chat. There was, you know, when you're in college years, you have this impressionable, you want to do something. So they capitalized on that. And they, you know, like AOC says, free, 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 everything's free, never mentions who has to pay for it. That was the same thing that was going on in Cuba. Using the people's grievances and using their lack of money and resources to lie and say, you know, we have to have a coup because your life is going to be better. So now it's 2023 and communism is still running rampant in Cuba, and now it's in our shores, and it has infiltrated every area of our lives. It's infiltrated the police department, the government, your schools, housing, courts, lawyers. I mean, I could talk about that alone for hours. But I knew the Marxist book way before I read it as a child. Every birthday, christening, you name it. The parents will bring their kids, and then they wind up having a couple of drinks, and it's all about politics. And as a kid, I didn't understand. I was born here. I didn't understand why every opportunity you have to talk about this. It's so depressing. And I didn't know, lo and behold, I was being not only groomed, but groomed for this time. It makes me emotional because all that, because you know, if you're around Cubans, you know, they talk loud, like they're arguing, but they're actually having a conversation with a lot of passion. But, you know, my friends used to say, oh, are they fighting? Like, no, they're talking. But growing up, I started hearing, what I was hearing is the scars. The separation of husband and wife, separation of mother and children, separation of spouses. And unfortunately, since you can't go back, they start new families in the United States and leave their families behind. Very painful. And even though I didn't experience that, I still have family there. And also, I've seen my mother cry countless nights, crying because she missed. I took her for the first time to BJ's and she just was bawling. And I'm like, Mom, what happened? Are you okay? It's like, look at all this food. Look at all this food. My family has no food. And what do